to Houston Real Estate Radio this Sunday evening. We are having our special Veterans Day show today. We just heard from Wounded Warriors a few minutes ago from their organization. I'm Shannon Register, and every Sunday at 6 p.m. we bring you news and information you can use on your real estate transaction. But today we're taking a little break from that to celebrate our veterans. Every week you can call in real estate questions. It's 281-882-8088. And if you've got a question, we'll still answer it. We'll be back next week talking real estate, 281-882-8088. But for this week, we want to remember those that have fallen and those that have sacrificed so much for this country. And there are a lot of great heroes right here in our Houston area. My next guest is Jerry Patterson. He's the commissioner of the Texas Veterans Land Board. He's a former Marine and studied over at A&M, not real far from here. Jerry and his family have been serving our country for generations. Not just Jerry, but his family have been serving for generations and continue to. He was elected for a third term as the commissioner, and back in 2007, he was named the Texan of the Year. So that's exciting. He's calling in from Austin. Welcome to the show, Jerry.
Good to be with y'all.
So any big changes going on with the Texas Veterans Land Board? Any updates for us?
Well, I guess you can say, since it started in 1947, or actually since taking care of veterans started in 1837 when we gave land to veterans of our War of Independence. And then, of course, we officially created the Veterans Land Board in 1947. And every year, every successive commissioner, the program gets even better. Mm-hmm. It is not, like it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, even 5 years ago. And I think more and more veterans are using it, but not enough. Too few veterans know about the Texas Veterans Benefits, mm-hmm. the home loans, and our home loan rate is about 0.5% or at least 40 basis points, 0.4% lower than the VA FHA 30-year benchmark. We do land loans. We now loan up to $417,000 for a home purchase. We've loosened the criteria for satisfying the residency requirements. So it's not your grandfather's VLB anymore, and that's my main message. I guess I would like to point out.
And real quickly, give us an overview of the difference between the Texas Veterans Land Board and what the VA benefits, because everybody's heard of the VA loan, but they haven't necessarily heard of the Texas Veterans Land Board, which goes hand in hand with the VA loan to give you more benefits. So can you talk to us about that?
The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, the VA, and everybody knows about VA home loans. Mm-hmm. Well, there are Texas Veterans Land Board home loans, and the great news is that you can have a VLB loan and you can combine it with a VA, with an FHA, or with a conventional. And in effect, what happens is, let's assume the VA rate is 4.2% right now. Our rate is 3.84%. So you can use a VA loan, but if you originate with the VLB, then you'll get the lower interest rate. We in effect buy the rate down. Mm-hmm. So there's absolutely categorically no reason not to use the Veterans Land Board because you're leaving money on the table.
Absolutely.
And frankly, there are veterans who might not qualify for the loan were it not for the lower interest rate the VLB offers. So just keep in mind, whatever you can get VA, FHA, we're going to be about 40 basis points, 0.4% lower that. And we'll loan up to $417,000. 100% financing if you use VA. And, of course, you have to qualify for the loans like any other loan.
Right, with credit and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, it's just like any other loan. We just buy the rate down, and it's a no-brainer. I wish more veterans took advantage of it. Although, I forgot what year it was. Maybe it was 2006, 2007. Can't recall. We did $1 billion in loans.
Wow.
And that's home loans. And, of course, we still do the land loan that started the program back in 1947. We've changed that a little bit. We loan up to, I think it's $100,000 to purchase land, and the minimum tract size is 1 acre. At one time, you had to buy 10 acres. But now it has to be at least 1 acre in size. We do loan up to $100,000. It's a 30-year fixed rate loan, and our land loan rate is fixed at 6.75%. You might find lower interest rates, but you're not going to find it for a 30-year fixed rate.
Well, and so with a disability, you get an even better rate if you have a disability.
Yes, on the home loans, your rate is a half a point lower. So right now we're 3.84 on our home loans. If you were disabled 30% or more, VA certified, certain disabled or 30% disability, your rate would be 3.34.
Jerry, what you were talking about is so true. I talked to a lender just this week who said, had it not been for the Texas Veterans Land Board buying down the rate, my client would not have been able to qualify for the loan.
Yes. I mean, we hear that over and over and over.
Yeah, I mean, that's big. There are a lot of veterans who can barely qualify, and that's a huge help for them. Huge help.
Yeah, that much discount. I don't know what it makes in the difference from the payments, but a couple $100 that could get them in.
Yeah, and it can get them the better house too. The difference between different levels, different price levels of house. Now, tell me this, because there are a lot. I work with a lot of lenders. As a realtor, work with a lot of lenders. My agents work with a lot of different lenders, and the thing is, a lot of lenders out there are not using the program. They just don't use it. And one of the things I've heard is too much paperwork. And then I talked to another lender who uses the program, and they said, it's just a couple extra sheets of paper. It's a huge win for the veterans. How do you overcome that as an organization? How do you reach more lenders to get it out there to people?
There are two categories. There are people, they're realtors or brokers or title companies or mortgage lenders that don't know about it. And then there's the category that you just described. Oh, it's too much paperwork. Well, first of all, they don't know. They're just repeating, in most cases, what somebody else said,
right,
and that somebody else may have attempted to originate a loan 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's whatever your experience was, in the past, it's not that anymore.
Yeah,
it's a VA. If you do a VA, you can do an FHA. You can do a conventional and combine it with the VLB, and we buy the rate down. It's almost malpractice if you've got a veteran who's eligible, and the difference between our loan, a VA, and our eligibility is that you only need 180 days of active duty. So we got a lot of Guard and Reserve people that otherwise wouldn't be eligible for a VA loan, but they can do a conventional combined with a VLB. But it's almost malpractice if you got a veteran as a customer and you do not do an extra couple of pieces of paper.
And for a lender who works for a company and they say, well, our company doesn't do that, where would you tell them to go for a resource or for information to learn about it, to see that this is something you need to bring into your company? It's easy. It's not. I mean, there's no course they have to take. It's not real difficult.
No, just go to our website, or you can, or just Google Texas Veterans Land Board, Texas Veterans Land Board, or of course you can call us 800-252-VETS. Mm-hmm. That's 800-252-VETS, and VETS is 8387. And we can walk you through the process. We can tell you, and if you're a realtor or if you're a veteran, we can tell you who generally has experience. We've got a find a lender and a find a realtor section on our website.
Yeah, I'm on there.
You can find somebody who's knowledgeable on that, who's done a lot of them. And so it's almost malpractice. If you got a veteran as a customer and you're not telling them about the VLB,
they need to know
I just hope you don't know about it and you're just not avoiding it.
Yeah. Now the funding, where do you, real quickly, we've got about a minute left, where do you get your funding from?
Well, it's a conventional. I mean, we issue bonds. We have authority to issue a certain amount of bonded indebtedness, and we issue those bonds. And of course, veterans are very good credit risk. They pay their payments. They make their payments.
Yeah.
So the voters of Texas have given us the authority to issue bonds, and been doing that. They've been doing that since the 50s.
Okay. And in March, you are going to be in the primaries. You're running for 2014 Lieutenant Governor. So that's exciting. That's a 4-year term that you're running for. So we want people to know that about you, Jerry, and get out there to the polls for the primary.
Well, I would appreciate it very much. That's votepatterson.com for me, and Texas Veterans Land Board for all the veterans, and
just
including
Google.
myself. I've used the VLB loan myself.
All right, Google Texas Veterans Land Board, or you can go to texasveterans.com. We are going to be back in just a few minutes with the Fisher House and also Building Homes for Heroes. Thank you so much, Jerry. We appreciate the great information, and we'll be back in just a minute right here on Houston Real Estate Radio. you.